So in this tutorial, we will discuss the precise technical concepts, syllabus, career paths and steps you need to follow to become a successful cybersecurity expert. We will discuss the basic skills you need to learn, the programming languages you must learn, networking concepts and all the essential protocols you have to learn, Linux chapters and how much Linux you should learn, the best operating systems for cybersecurity and which one you should start with. After discussing the prerequisites, then I will show you the different hacking categories or terms and the best available tools for each category that you should master, and then the order of learning, how you should plan and proceed your learning journey. Finally, we will discuss the different career paths and options you will have in cybersecurity after mastering cybersecurity. So I'm your host Sani. Thanks for joining me, guys. Let's get started. Learn the core concepts of most popular operating systems, Windows and Mac, especially the Windows. By basics, I did not mean how to browse internet or use MS Office. Understand how things work behind the scene. Learn about Windows file system. This is very important. It supports three file systems, exFAT, FAT32 and NTFS. Understanding how file system works is essential to the digital forensic. Digital forensic basically deals with recovering and analyzing deleted files, tracing and analyzing IP and MAC addresses of attackers, tracing back evidences and extracting data from images and hard drives, etc. Digital forensic is essential skill for cybersecurity. So you have to learn about the file system before getting into digital forensic. Now, Windows Registry is a database where Windows stores configurations and settings of hardware devices, installed applications, users, and operating system. So once you understand how registry works and stores the information, then you can modify or even override the default settings of applications, users, and devices accordingly. You should be familiar with how to install operating systems and troubleshoot the basic problems. Understand architecture of Mac OS as well. It is fairly simple. It is bit similar to Linux, and for Linux we have a dedicated section which we will cover later in the video. Most importantly, learn about cyber laws. You should clearly know what legal and illegal is. Cyber laws vary from country to country. Ethical hacking mostly revolves around programming and networking. Learning how to program is the most fundamental thing to cybersecurity. So if you want a career in cybersecurity, then learning programming is essential. There are three sections for programming in cybersecurity: web hacking or web pen testing, writing exploits, automation, and reverse engineering. Web pen testing is a branch of ethical hacking. Web pen testing deals with finding bugs or loopholes in web applications. So to find vulnerabilities in web applications, you must understand how code works behind the web applications. So learn HTML first. HTML tags are the backbones of web applications. HTML tags are used for constructing layouts for web applications. So learn HTML. JavaScript is absolutely essential to web pen testing and web development. This is the only language that web browsers understand. All the web applications have to use it to make web applications interactive. So learn JavaScript. It will enhance your understanding of DOM manipulation, cross-site request forgery, cross-scripting site, and most importantly, it will help you to understand how web applications work. SQL is used for managing databases. SQL basically communicates with databases, like how data is retrieved, stored, and accessed in a programmatic manner. It will help you to understand how attacks like SQL injection, weak authentication work. Once you understand SQL, then you will be able to defend the databases from attackers. It is a must-have skill. You will need to learn a server-side language to understand how code works when you submit form data, logic and code behind pages like login, sign up, cookies, sessions, etc. Python is the perfect language to do it. Once you understand logic and code behind the web applications, then you will be able to implement and defend attacks like SQL injection, XSS, session hijacking, and cookie stealing, etc. Some may recommend PHP for server side, but go for Python instead. You can do everything with Python that PHP does. With Python, you can build almost anything from web applications to security tools easily, whereas PHP is used only for writing web applications or server side code. Writing your own exploits and payloads is advanced stuff. Before writing exploits, you need to have good understanding of networking and system architectures. C is the perfect language for writing undetectable payloads and exploits. C is very close to hardwares. With C, you will understand how things work at hardware level. Pointers in C are really helpful. It helps you to write efficient code, how to manage and manipulate memory, how to avoid memory leaks. C is the most efficient language for robotics, embedded systems, and writing undetectable exploits, etc. C will enhance your ability to understand behavior of hardwares. C language will make you a better programmer overall. Python is the perfect language for writing security tools and automation. Python is often referred as the hacker's language because it has plenty of inbuilt modules or libraries for cybersecurity. Most of the command line tools are written in Python. These are some useful Python libraries for cybersecurity: PyShark, Python Nmap, Scapy, Selenium package, and Beautiful Soup. Assembly is the undisputed language for reverse engineering and writing shellcode. Reverse engineering is an advanced subject, so before learning reverse engineering, learn about different computer architectures, how compilers work, and convert source code into binaries. So learn assembly for reverse engineering. Do not rush learning assembly because it is part of the advanced syllabus. I will tell the order of learning at the end. Bash is a scripting language for Linux. It is very easy to learn. It is not a fully fledged programming language like C. Still, it is very powerful language. It automates and schedules your tasks with great efficiency. Networking is the center point of cybersecurity. You must understand how data is sent and received over internet, how data packets work, how computers connect and exchange the data streams. So let's look at the syllabus and important protocols you must learn. Start with networking basics. What is hub, switch, router, extender, repeater, Ethernet, modem, and how they work. Then learn about IP addresses and its 5 classes: static IP and dynamic IP address, difference between IPv6 and IPv4, subnet mask, broadcasting address, DHCP server, and the default gateway. What is public IP and private IP address? What is packet and its composition, network and its topologies. Also learn LAN, WAN, and MAN. Then learn network architectures and models. Guys, the concepts I am about to tell are very important, so learn them thoroughly. OSI model and TCP IP. OSI and TCP IP determines how two computers communicate. Then what is proxy server, how it works. VPN and Tor, how they work. What are ports in networking? How do port forwarding works? What is a firewall? How to configure it to filter the unwanted traffic? Now let's discuss the essential protocols and related topics. Transmission Control Protocol, also known as TCP, Internet Protocol, UDP, User Datagram Protocol, HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, FTP, Telnet, DNS, SMTP, POP3, ICMP, DHCP, peer-to-peer, also known as P2P, and TLS. Learn about MAC address and ARP protocol as well. And IEEE 802.11 protocol deals with wireless data communication. Learn how your wireless card works. This is important for wireless security. Linux is the preferred operating system for programmers, cybersecurity specialists, and DevOps engineers. Because it is an open source, you can modify and customize it according to your liking. Linux has great integrated command line interface, and most of the cybersecurity tools are specifically created for Linux. So let's discuss the core Linux concepts and commands you must learn. Start with file system, understand how directory structure works, how files are stored and organized, then learn about its file system types. Start with basic Linux commands like how to navigate between directories, how to copy, delete, rename, edit and move files etc. Learn about cat command and terminal based text editor nano. Then understand and practice top command, grep command, piping, find command, tail and head command, how to install and remove softwares or packages from terminal. Learn how to create partitions with command line tools. Practice user add and user del command to add and remove users. Then file permissions, how to give and take away file permissions. Input and output redirection, how to extract and unzip files. Then learn about networking commands, and the most important, what is root user and sudo command. Then how to schedule your tasks with cron tab command, how to configure SSH to access remote servers. Learn about telnet and FTP as well. IP tables are used for filtering incoming and outgoing packets. So learn about IP tables as well. So guys, this is pretty much the basic Linux stuff you should be comfortable with. I have already mentioned bash scripting. Bash scripting basically automates your Linux commands. So learn bash scripting as well. Cryptography is an integral part of the cybersecurity. Cryptography deals with techniques that encrypt information or data by transforming it into unreadable formats to protect from hackers. For example, your wireless data communication can easily be intercepted by hackers. If it is not encrypted, then hackers are going to read the data you are exchanging with other devices in plain text easily. So computers use data encryption algorithms to safeguard the data. Some popular data encryption algorithms are Advanced Encryption Standard, Blowfish, RSA, SHA-256. So understand about the encryption and its top algorithms. Kali Linux is the most stable operating system for cybersecurity. Make no mistake, Kali Linux is not essential to cybersecurity or hacking. You can choose any Linux based operating system like Linux Mint or Ubuntu, then install all the required tools. It is that easy. But in Kali Linux, all the required hacking tools are already pre-installed. It has more than 750 tools in the latest version, and tools are bundled in different categories for easy access. For example, there are different categories like web application, information gathering, wireless, security, etc. So you can find and access tools easily. So it makes an ideal OS for cybersecurity. Kali Linux is being consistently updated as well. So it is very stable and efficient. You can practice Linux commands, programming and other regular stuff that you do in a general purpose OSs in Kali Linux as well. So install Kali Linux on VirtualBox or VMware first. When you get comfortable with it, later you can install Kali Linux alongside Windows or separately in your hard disk. Now let's discuss the different hacking categories and top tools for the respective categories. The very first step in cybersecurity is information gathering. You need to gather as much information as possible about the target system. Remember guys, all the tools that I'm going to mention here for all the categories are pre-installed in Kali Linux. Maltego is a graphical user interface tool for gathering information about individuals and organizations. Nmap is a network scanner used for scanning ports, detecting OSs, services, etc. NetDiscover finds IP and MAC addresses of connected devices on the local network. Other useful tools are Dimitri and Recon NG. Burp Suite is one of the best tool for web pen testing. It is the complete tool for manual and automated testing. So master it. WASP-ZAP is an efficient tool. It scans websites for vulnerabilities automatically. It detects vulnerabilities like SQL injection, XSS, remote and local file inclusion, and other vulnerabilities automatically. So this is a must-know tool. SQL Map is used for exploiting SQL injection vulnerability. If your website is vulnerable to the SQL injection, then SQL Map is a nightmare. So master it. WP Scan is specifically created to scan and exploit WordPress websites. So in case you need to check WordPress website for vulnerabilities, then WP Scan is your answer. AirCrackNG is the best tool for testing your Wi-Fi network. It is a command line tool. So learn AirCrackNG to crack or test your Wi-Fi network. Other useful tools are Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi Fisher. Basically guys, AirCrackNG is not a single tool. It is collection of many sub tools. In this section, Metasploit is the undisputed king. Metasploit is probably the best free framework out there for penetration testers. It has everything. You can test your websites for vulnerabilities, generate payloads, create reverse TCP shells, test web servers. In short, you can test your entire network with Metasploit. Metasploit is huge. Metasploit is collection of hundreds of tools. So this is a must-know tool for penetration testers. MSF Venom is used for generating payloads for all the major operating systems like Android, Windows, Linux and Mac. So learn MSF Venom as well. Sniffing refers to the sniffing or intercepting data going through other devices. There is only one undisputed tool here called Wireshark. Wireshark is the best tool for sniffing and analyzing all types of traffic. Other useful tool you can use is Ettercap. It is a GUI based tool. In password cracking category, there are many good tools. Hashcat is among the best tools for password cracking. And learn John the Ripper as well. It speeds up your cracking process. For identifying hashes, use hash identifier. And learn Crunch to create custom passwords list. For social engineering, we have SET, Social Engineering Tool in Kali Linux. Digital forensic is a vital part of cybersecurity. So Kali Linux allows you to specifically boot in forensic mode. You can use digital forensic tools in a normal mode as well. Bulk extractor, it allows you to extract information like credit card or debit card numbers, emails, phone numbers, IP addresses and other relevant information from disk images, drives, directories. Autopsy is a free cross-platform tool. It is a graphical user interface tool loaded with so many features. Autopsy can search through all the storage devices to extract lost information. It works with almost all the major file systems. Scalpel is used for recovering deleted files like MP4, docs, JPEG, PNG, MP3, EXE and almost all the file types. It is an efficient tool. It is easy to use. Now it is extremely important to plan the learning process in correct order. The subjects we have gone through can be studied simultaneously, but you have to allocate time smartly according to the complexity level of the subjects. Initially dedicate most of the time to programming and networking because they are a bit difficult to learn at the beginning. Learn Linux commands and basics side by side simultaneously because basics and Linux commands are not that difficult. Do not learn assembly language at the beginning because it is difficult to learn as your first language. Learn in this order. Start with Python, HTML, JavaScript, MySQL, then C. Once you learn C language, then your transition to assembly will be very smooth. Leave assembly to the last. Once you learn prerequisites and basics of cybersecurity, then assembly will be part of advanced learning. All right. So when you learn basics of networking, Linux and programming, then you can start exploring, hacking tools. Start with web pen testing. Learn how to use tools like Burp Suite, Wasp Zap to find and analyze vulnerabilities in web applications. Understand Wasp Top 10 in detail. Then you can move to wireless security, password cracking, exploitation, and advanced stuff like digital forensic, then reverse engineering respectively. Basically guys, once you learn the prerequisites and basics of cybersecurity, then things will fall automatically for you. You will not need any instructions on what to do next. You will find it yourself automatically. The main thing is to understand the core concepts thoroughly, and of course your dedication, creativity, and desire to learn also matters a lot. So once you learn all the essential skills, then you will have many career paths. You can work for government and private agencies as a digital forensic expert. You will be working with tracing digital evidences, recovering and analyzing deleted files, cybercrime activities, and extracting information out of the storage devices. A system administrator deals with maintaining systems, troubleshooting errors, protecting and backing up data, managing and configuring servers. In short, a system administrator is jack of all trades. Web pen tester or bug bounty hunters find bugs or errors in web applications. The job of web pen testers is to find vulnerabilities in applications. You can do freelancing as well. Usually bug bounty hunters or web pen testers are freelancers. They find bugs in web applications, then report them to the respective organizations or individuals. In return, they get paid. A security specialist keeps your system and network safe from attackers. It monitors security threats, implements firewalls and security rules, manages antiviruses and other threats. Security specialists basically design and implement network security for uninterrupted services. Penetration testers are attackers. Big corporations and government agencies need to ensure that their systems are safe from hackers. So a penetration tester basically tests system or network for potential threats or vulnerabilities. The job of a penetration tester is to check system for all the possible attacks so it can be safeguarded from all the possible attacks accordingly. A malware analyst disassembles and analyzes the malicious code or exploits. Malware analysts reverse engineer applications for suspicious activities. You need to have immense understanding of assembly language. C and C++ also helps. There are many areas where you can work in cybersecurity like source code editor, network administrator, IT auditor, security architect, cryptography expert, etc. When you gain enough experience, you will be working as security consultant, chief information security officer, and cybersecurity manager. So as you have seen, the learning curve to become an ethical hacker or cybersecurity specialist is huge. It requires your time, dedication, practice, and creativity. A cybersecurity specialist has to understand, system inside out. The whole purpose of learning cybersecurity is to defend systems and networks from attackers. You should be able to design and implement network security efficiently. So guys, if you have any questions, then let me know in my comment section. I always answer relevant questions. Again guys, thanks for taking your time and watching the video.